Hey guys, Raghav Parkash here, and I hope you guys are doing really well and having a fantastic week, fantastic month, whenever you're watching this, and I hope that life and business is going really well for you. So I've got a short training for you today on how you can break through stress and how you can really start turning stress around if you're feeling stress happen in your life, in your work, in your personal aspects, at home, in any part of your world. Stress is something that we all experience. It's something that we experience on the ladder to trying to do more, trying to be more, trying to have more in our life. Stress is something that we experience as part of the push, as part of the grind, as part of the hustle, whatever word you use to describe the journey of life that we go through. Stress is something that we all experience. Especially if you're a high achiever, you're going to experience stress. When I'm working with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of directors, some CEOs, people that run businesses, own businesses, stress is something that creeps in. And unfortunately, if we don't know how to manage it, stress is something that manages us. Stress is something that happens to us. So on today's video, I want to give you just a few short strategies that you can implement today to really start taking charge of stress. So what are they? Well, let's start with step number one. Step number one is really taking ownership of stress. Taking ownership of stress. So what does that mean, taking ownership of stress? Well, you see, a lot of the language I hear my clients use when they feel stressed out is that stress is something that they use the language of stress as something that just happens to me and I feel stressed and this person stresses me out and work stresses me out and life stresses me out and I went to Starbucks and had my sandwich today, I got really stressed out. It's that, the language that we use. Stressed out in the business. Stressed out by the vision that we have. Stressed out by trying to expand our team. Stressed out by trying to be a leader. Stress isn't something that just happens to us. It's something that's created from inside of us. Stress is something that we create from the inside out. If you're an extraordinary leader, the top leaders understand that we create our own stress. Stress isn't just a natural part of life. Stress is a result of something you believe is missing from your life. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But the first step to really breaking through your stress is to create awareness and to really be aware and to understand that we are creating our stress from the inside out and taking pure ownership for it. Because if you can take ownership for your stress and if you can own it and accept it and embrace it and embody that you're creating your stress, then you are liberating yourself. You are liberating who you are and you are giving yourself the keys to your freedom to break through stress. So number one is awareness. Step number two is just to take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to slow down. Because if you want to break through your stress and if you want to destroy any challenges you're going through and overcome obstacles, you can't do that from an unresourceful state. You can't do that from an emotional state of feeling the pressure, feeling the stress. Because then you're going to make decisions based around stress. You're going to make decisions while feeling stress, which lead to results which are very stress orientated. Instead, if you want to feel empowered to make an extraordinary decision, put yourself in an extraordinary state. Go and take a walk, take a breath, take a moment to reconnect with who you are. Take a moment to connect with what you're grateful for. Take a moment to ask yourself, what is life really about? And just change your state, change how you're feeling. Slow down and just come to terms with the world around you. The first step to take charge of your stress is this, and this is really powerful. I love this step. Step number three is to find out what's missing for you right now in your life. What's missing for you in your world that is causing the stress. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you're going through. If you're stressed out that there's so much work to do and I'm just really stressed at work, it really stresses me out. If you were to slow down and actually go deeper into that and ask yourself, what stresses me out about work? What is it? What stresses me out? You're going to find that there's a deeper root, there's a fear, there's something that you feel deep down is missing, something that isn't going to happen that you want to happen. Or there's a fear of this could happen if all of this isn't done or if I don't have this particular outcome in my lifestyle. So let me give you an example. What stresses you out about work? Well, what stresses me out is all this workload, all this incredible amount of work I've got to do. Great, so what stresses you out about that? Well, if I don't do all this work, then I'm going to let people down. What happens after that? And if you keep going and saying, what happens? Then what will happen? It's Rag, you know what? I could get people fired. I could get fired. I could lose my job. I could let the company down. It could cost us millions. There's a big outcome that you're scared of. There's something that's driving you, that's holding you back. So if you want to understand that and come to terms with that, slow down and ask yourself, what stresses you out about certain situations? What stresses you out about certain relationships? What's the fear? What's a deep hidden fear that is showing up for you, that is stress of the symptoms, that is causing that stress? Find that fear and unleash it. So ask yourself, what stresses me out about the situation? Then what stresses me out about that? Then what stresses me out about that? And if you can find the deeper root, the deeper fear, the deeper, this is what I'm really concerned about, you're going to set yourself free. And key number 4 is once you understand what is going on for you and you're understanding your stress, you're being aware of your stress, you're being aware of what you're feeling and experiencing. Key number 4 is to give yourself what you need. Is that having a certain conversation with some colleagues and saying, you know what, I really get quite stressed about this. Like, can you help? You know, what do you think about this? Is it getting insight input from the world around you? Is it slowing down and taking some time off? Is it just coming to terms with what you think you're scared of and actually realizing that that fear isn't going to happen? Because based on your current lifestyle, you're putting in so much focus, so much energy, so much effort that you're going to break through and you're going to create the result you want. Is it sometimes slowing down and realizing that if we connect the dots going backwards, like Steve Jobs spoke about, things happen and very often happen in such a beautiful way that they just have a way of working out. Their life sometimes just has a way of working out that if we stay focused and keep going, things will work out. Things always have worked out, things always will work out. And the fear that crops up is just a part of the human experience. So why don't we just let that go and refocus on what we want? And that's the final step. Bring yourself back to what you want deep down. When you feel stressed, where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? What do you want to bring into your life? Because whatever you focus on expands. You don't believe me? Let's try this. Don't think of an elephant. What are you thinking of? An elephant. Whatever you focus on, you steer towards. Even if we think about the things we don't want, we experience them in our life. Right now, if I was to ask you to go back to a time you last had an incredible, beautiful, euphoric, passionate, family-orientated holiday, or friends-orientated holiday, you had a great time, you had an extraordinary time. What you're going to experience is beautiful sensations. You're going to have beautiful memories. You're going to have a beautiful experience that warms you up. Or if you're skiing, then maybe the fun, thrilling, feeling the cold going in your face and you're having this amazing time. You're going to feel incredible right now because whatever you focus on expands. So the last step is think about and focus on what you want to move towards, the experiences you want to have, what you want to create, and celebrate and feel good about that. And if you do this enough and you do this often, stress will leave you. I guarantee this works because this is something I do myself and I rarely get stressed out. And when I feel stressed, I give myself space to observe what am I creating and what's going on for me and what really is scaring me about a situation. What's a deeper fear? And then I just do some work on it. And then I adjust my thinking, adjust my focus, and I take action in the right direction. And the breakthrough happens. Take charge of your stress and happen to life. And go and create the extraordinary results you want. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, I hope this video really served you. If it did, I'd love it if you could like it, comment underneath this, share this with someone you know could really hear this message. Until the next video, be awesome, be blessed, live empowered.